Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to the part one of the last live episode for 2024. Today, we have a young lady that came on the podcast last year. She's doing her thing. She's having fun. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside return to AnnaLnn. Welcome back.
Hi. So happy to be back again.
Awesome. We had fun last time. We were goofing, we were laughing, we were having fun. But now we're live. We're live on the internet.
It's crazy that we were almost like exactly a year apart from last time too.
Yeah, and it was so funny because like last time it's like we weren't ready. Your hair was black. I think black at the time, right? Black or brown.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to since the last time we were in the studios?
Oh man, staying busy. Of course, I'm always busy. I just graduated, got my bachelor's of science in entertainment business, of course. Wow. And that was literally just earlier this month. I'm still doing full-time wrestling, doing commentary, ring announcing, some wrestling here and there. Always a little bit of everything, and of course staying busy with my personal life too. I have, my 3 boys that are in collegiate wrestling themselves now, and that's really exciting new venture. And yeah, just doing all kinds of stuff all the time.
Awesome. So like I'd spoken to another female like commentator / ring announcer. Being a ring announcer, I don't know, it's almost as like the same hand like being a singer? Do you have to like drink tea before the show, or do you have to like make sounds with your voice to make it like feel your voice doesn't feel like it hurts?
So when I very first started, yes, I did all the things like having like Jolly Ranchers or like cough drops or things like that, and like all the time, or like hot water or hot tea and stuff like that. But the longer I did it, I learned how to use my voice from like my stomach, my gut, rather than my throat. And then now, once I learned that and got that down and changed that octave, I don't have to do anything for my voice or my throat. My voice doesn't go out. My throat doesn't hurt or anything like that. And that's usually my number one advice that I give to ring announcers, because I know as a ring announcer, you don't really get like training or constructive criticism or anybody giving you as much feedback as if you were like a wrestler manager or literally anything else. And so usually if I'm on a show and I see a ring announcer and stuff like that, and they speak to me or something like that, that's usually like the first thing I teach them or give them advice on. Like if you can learn to do that and shift it, it changes the game for you. Not only does it give you like a better cadence and like better sounding voice carrying through that microphone, but again, it saves your voice, it saves your throat in the long run, and just helps so much. That's my number one thing.
So what do you find more like much more for you like exciting, to be the ring announcer or the commentator?
Well, if out of those two, I think I liked so commentary is the thing I've been doing. That's the newest thing I've done. I've only been commentating for about 2 years now, and I enjoy it there's things I enjoy about both of them. But like commentary, one thing I love is because like we've talked about before, January will make 17 years I've been in the wrestling business. And then I also grew up in it. So add an additional 10 years I've been around wrestling. So that's like 27 years. And the thing I love about commentary that's making me fall back in love with wrestling is like I get to watch wrestling intently when I'm at shows. And that's something I don't get to do usually when I'm ring announcing or doing anything else. I'm there, I'm doing my job, I'm going backstage or doing something else, and I'm being pulled in different ways. So I don't get to just sit and watch. With commentary, I've really fallen in love with wrestling again since doing that, because I get to watch intently, and it makes me like kind of go back to when I was a kid, when I would just watch it intently without having a job to do. And so that's kind of out of the two of those. Now, my favorite overall is I very much in love with character work and storytelling. That is my true passion in wrestling.
Awesome. Like I've heard so many like commentators and, like over the years, like the Bobby the Brain Heenans and the Gorilla Monsoons and the Joey Styles. Who would you compare your commentary to? Like, or someone you've always listened to as a kid?
Well, somebody I've always listened to was like Jim Ross, people like that. And like with like backstage interviewing and things like that, like Mean Gene. I don't know who I would compare mine to. Honestly, I don't think I can compare myself to anybody. Those are just people that I listen to the most that I guess I would take, influence from. But I wouldn't say that there's not anybody I can think of that I could compare my style to.
Yeah, that's difficult because like I hear people that are like podcasters that get asked to do interviewing. I don't know. They would have to put the volume like on medium with me because instantly
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched me in the past get excited when I'm watching a reaction. I don't. I'm not the quiet guy. I immediately
No.
like, oh my gosh! I'm like, stop screaming, Joe. You're freaking scaring the
That's
crowd.
the thing, you gotta like, because you have to have like that big reaction, which is natural for most people, but you've also got to like, don't blow the mic, don't make it to where people don't want to watch because they don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was at a show in Pennsylvania called New Era, and they did a ladder spot. It was a ladder match. It was a ladder, like almost like a Money in the Bank. And a guy named Squid did the big spot of the night. He went off. It wasn't like this typical long Home Depot or Lowe's ladders. It was one of the ones that you like. It's like you could lay it flat, or you could lay it and then lay it like this. They laid it that they put it the like I call it the Bray Wyatt style, like this.
Yeah.
So he went all over the ladder. All the guys were fighting outside the ring, all in a pile. And I'm like, it's on Instagram. I put it on TikTok too. I'm like, no, Squid, no. I put it on Instagram. I'm like, no, Squid, no. I'm videotaping it like this. I'm like, no, Squid, no,
don't
Squid,
do that.
no. And I didn't even get that. No, my friend went, oh no. At the end of the video, and then the video ends. I didn't even get it out. I just heard my friends.
But I also see that's what I enjoy too. Like I feel like you really got to let personality come through, especially if you're a color commentator or something like that. Like your play-by-play should be, pretty straight on point and everything, but you got to have personality in there too, and that's what makes it fun. I have a clip somewhere of me doing commentary, and it was so funny because I'm already having a lot of fun. The people I shared the booth with that day were really good friends of mine. But then it was just like some crazy stuff kept happening. Like they left like the back door to the locker room open, and this random dog came out. Like somebody's music started playing, like music was going, lights are going, and a dog came through the curtains. And of course, like I just let my natural personality come out, and I'm like, puppy, like it's a dog.
It's a mystery opponent in the Rumble.
Like stuff like that. It's like that's the commentary I enjoy though. Like you're telling the story, you're adding entertainment to it and everything, making sure people, especially because one thing I learned whenever I first started out in wrestling, we had a show that was a weekly show that was always live and played. And we actually had this fan that always watched our show that really interacted with us on Twitter. And they were blind and they watched our show, and they always really like commented on the fact that they thoroughly enjoyed our show because our commentary was really efficient. Like they really told the story of what was going on in the ring and the whole story of the matches and the people and things like that. And so like so that's what I tell people again when I talk to other people and give people advice and train and stuff. I'm like, imagine somebody blind is watching your show. Are they going to know what's going on by what you are saying? And are they going to be entertained by what you and your team are being well, getting tongue tied, are saying? And so if that's not the case, then like that's how I think about it.
Of course, dudes at Ringside had to chime in. They were trying to say "yay, doggy," but it's just the internet. yeah, doggy. Come in, it's trying. It's trying. So yeah, I saw on your Instagram as well. You have a T-shirt now. How does it feel to have an actual T-shirt with your face and your name on it? Does that feel different than most commentators don't have T-shirts and stuff like that?
It's funny because like I wrestle too. Like I wrestle, I literally there's nothing in professional wrestling, front of house and back of house, that I have not done in my 17 years. Like I can literally say that I have done everything. And for some reason, it just never crossed my mind to get like T-shirts or personal like I'd done like stickers and obviously like 8x10s pictures and little small things like that. But for some reason, I never thought to get T-shirts made. So yeah, for the first time ever, after 16 years, I got those 2 designs made, and they were super popular. I'm very thankful that
I'm
the
jealous.
fan
I want
audience
one.
loved them. All
I
I
want a
have
t-shirt.
left is like those I had the one that was more like my wrestling character, and then I had the one that was more geared toward like people that know me through announcing and commentary, which both were great. Both of them were very successful and
I'm
everything.
jealous. Show it off on the screen. I know my fans from the UK would love to see it. Check it out. Show it off.
I don't know how to do that.
Yes, you have the picture, the shirt right next to you.
You know what? I have, so when I ship them, I'm extra with a lot of stuff. And so I got these custom made mailers, and so those have the design on them. So I can show those because I have those right here. This is the one for my wrestling persona.
Ooh,
I guess
like
it's mirrored. So, but yeah, this is the wrestling one. This is like me as a cartoon character, basically. A very good friend of mine, Wesley Crane, that also wrestles, designed this. Shout out to him. He's fantastic for all your design work. That's the wrestling persona one. And then this is my announcing and commentator one with the microphone, again with my name on it. And I've got like 3 of these left, and only in size extra large. That's all I've got left in these. If anybody wants them.
What about the one the rest? I like the microphone one, but I like the wrestling one.
Those sold out really quick, so if I get any of those, I have to pre-order them.
I do like the microphone one because it's hard to say, because people send me T-shirts, wrestlers and promotions send me T-shirts, and it's like I've never got a commentator or like announcer's T-shirts. It's like everybody's like, oh, who's that, Randy? Oh, her name is blah blah blah, and she's from Texas, or she's from my very first T-shirt I ever got was from a female wrestler from England. I don't know if I mentioned Alfie from England.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, Alfie the Siren of the Spear. And the funny story was with that one was, I'm like, I'll send you a T-shirt. I'll send you a sticker.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll send you a T-shirt. I'm just like,
look.
And I was in my room going like, looking at my phone, then going, T-shirt for a sticker. And then in my head, I'm like, idiot. I got told by somebody saying, Joe, shut up. Just take the stupid take the T-shirt.
Yeah.
I got the T-shirt. I wear it every once in a while. People are like, who's Alfie? And then I'm like, it's like how Fresh Prince. Well, you have a time for it's like how the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, got a story for you.
Now I want to have that song stuck in my head. Thank you.
So yeah, so me, yesterday I wasn't live yesterday, but yeah, Pennsylvania, we got blacked out. We had
crazy.
We got hit by a snowstorm yesterday, like on Thursday night. I lost power here in the Poconos about, I want to say like 5:30 in the morning. And I lucked out. My day program I go to was canceled. It was canceled. And I get stuck at home luckily, thank God we have a generator.
Yeah.
No power at all. That's like.
See, I live down here in the South, and we get in like snowstorm, ice storm like once every few years, and I do not have a generator if that happens.
Oh my God.
I would not be prepared. So I'll just stick down here where that don't happen that often.
I don't even know how I kind of think I had flashbacks how I survived so well, because I woke up, my dad came flying down the stairs, and I'm like, Dad, my day program is canceled today. He's like, no, we have no power. But then I looked at my phone. I saw the bars were all full, and I was like, "How the heck is that happening?" And then I found out from my mom, we have a generator, and the plug that's connected to our router, our Wi-Fi, worked. So I'm like, "Oh, I had an interview last night with a wrestler." So I was like, "Okay." So I got to do my interview. The wrestler was super excited because the interview went really good, like this one. So when it comes to shows, like, do you have to like pick your outfit out like the day or 2 days beforehand, so you don't have to like, if you're not matching with your commentary partner?
I should do that. No, I am. I actually have ADHD, so everything is last minute and procrastinated.
I am nice to meet you.
And you can see, as you can see here, and there's like a whole rack right here. That's all my wrestling clothes. And see, and I'm weird too, because I personally feel like, not everybody agrees with this, but I feel like if I were a man on a show, I could wear the same thing every single time and nobody will bat an eye. But however, because I'm a woman, I feel like people notice, and so you will never see me wear the same thing twice on a show, ever. Like, like I rotate and I like buy new things and rotate those all the time. So that's really the only thought that goes through my head, like something that's cute, functional, and I haven't worn it before.
Like, I don't know about you, but by us in Pennsylvania, we've had like blackouts during wrestling shows because during like the summer seasons, has that ever happened to you at a show? You're doing a show and the lights go out in the middle of a show?
And not
And
really
it's not part of the
that.
show.
Like here down here, it's more of like you're doing a show and all of a sudden everybody's phones go off because there's a tornado warning. That has happened. I've had that happen multiple times throughout many years and everything. And it's kind of like, well, let's pause the show for a second, see what the weather's doing. If we have somebody like on deck watching it, and if we're good, we just keep on going.
Yeah.
But I don't ever been somewhere where we lost power or something like that before.
Yeah, it was just, we were doing a show, you're at a show in Slatington, and all of a sudden lights blinked. I was like, ooh, no. Or we had a hurricane hit, it was in Slatington, so we were not near Scranton, and some guy showed me a picture of like rock slides. I was like,
yeah,
well, that sucks. And I have to drive back.
I saw a lot of that stuff because I was watching the hurricanes pretty closely because the school I was going to was in Florida, and it was right there in between where those hurricanes were hitting. My graduation was on November 1st, so I had to keep watching that because I was like, hey, I already bought my plane ticket. Is my school still even gonna be there? Like, that's what I was nervous about. And I was watching that and saw all the damage that it did, like going up north, and I was like, that is crazy. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it's insane. So when you backstage interview people, do you have a different level when you're interviewing like a heel than like you're interviewing a face?
It depends on like the character itself, how I treat them and everything. So it's like, if they were very like serious heel, or am I allowed to say bad words on here?
Oh yeah.
Or if it's like a chicken shit hill, like that, like I'll treat even those differently. Like if it's serious, somebody like big, I'm gonna act like, I'm timid and I'm scared. I'm just trying to do my interview, just trying to get a question in, and everything. And then like, if it's somebody else that's like, meh, I'm just like, hey, and you just feed off whatever character they are. Really, that I feel like that's my job. My job as an interviewer is putting over their character just as much as an opponent would. Like, what their goal is for who they are, I've got to act accordingly.
Yeah, I get that, because like sometimes I've heard interviewers, they use the heel as like they're like, oh no, I'm scared, this guy's gonna really bust my face open. Or if it's like a super like creepy character, do you approach it like on 4?
It's the same thing with like faces and stuff. Like, what is the story that they're trying to get around? What is their character? Am I laughing at them? Are my friends with them? Are we having a good time? Are they mad? Like what are they trying to get over? Then that I base what I do off of that.
Do you have any upcoming shows?
I do. So I'm at Gladiator Championship Wrestling in Arkansas next Saturday, the 30th, and then Texoma Pro Wrestling the 20th and the 21st. And that's when they're in Sherman, Texas, and Ardmore, Oklahoma on those 2 days. And they're actually doing their yearly toy drive where you can get in for free with just a donated new toy there. And they put on an excellent show, and they have a brand new facility. And yeah, that's all I've got for the rest of this year.
Wow. So what are you doing for Thanksgiving? You have any plans?
Not really. Just spending time with my boys and having a Thanksgiving dinner and just enjoying that time with my family.
That's awesome. Well, and
then wrestling on the weekend.
I didn't really announce that it is Thankful for Wrestling Month as it was last year in November, even though if you didn't hear me already say it, the day before Thanksgiving is my very last episode for the season. It's not forever. Just the season finale.
I was like, we are going to go on there for a third time. It can't be the end forever.
No, I would have to be sick with some kind of made up Joe disease about my throat. Because a few weeks ago, I'm 41. I was doing something at work, and I felt like something was in my throat, and I was going, "Uh-oh, is it the podcasting? Is it the constant talking into a microphone? Because I usually like to drink tea, like it has the little butterflies on it to make my voice, I'm hyperactive. Keeps me calmer than I'm supposed to be because I'm drinking coffee like crackhead Bob.
I'm addicted to energy drinks.
I don't drink that crap. I'll just drink coffee or something at work and free coffee. So as the machine, I must be like, maybe I burn myself with the tea water, but I felt like something in my throat, and I'm like, oh my god.
See, then that's the difference too between commentary and announcing. Like I said earlier, you can change your octave and your voice and like speak from your gut to do announcing. You're not touching it. But I've done shows where I have to do commentary and announcing, and my voice is definitely shot by the end of that show. Shot. I sound like an old woman after that.
my last match. Oof. My last interview live this year is tomorrow, but my last episode for the season is airing on Wednesday, and it's returning for the 5th time is Kiara.
Nice.
My very well full circle because she was my very first British guest I have ever had on the podcast. And it touched my heart because I thought I would never hear from her again.
Yeah.
After me and my former, last year when the dudes separated, I was like thinking, I'm never gonna hear from her again because 2 people are friends with someone, and then that Vince McMahon meme, I could see it now. Hey Joe, would you ever talk to Keith? Vince McMahon going, yeah, but I never thought I was gonna talk to her again, and she says, "When do you need me?" And I was the Vince McMahon going. But I had her on. We interviewed. I talked to her, and it was something to have someone that you had on the podcast that helped you bridge that connection to people not even from this country that are across the pond. You know what I mean?
Making you international.
And she really pretty much like I went Harry Potter on it. She started laughing because she's a nerd, and I said like. There was always a knocking at that door, and I didn't know where it was coming from. Till in my head, I moved the shelf, and there's that door that said UK. Yeah, and we opened it, and it's like the wall just separated, and all these other doors from different countries just appeared.
That's my goal for like next year. I want to get out of the country. I was supposed to go to Japan, not last summer, but the summer before, and things kind of like fell apart where I had to end up staying home for my boys and stuff. But so I'm telling myself that this next year is the year. Like I am getting overseas.
I hope later you can come to Pennsylvania. I would love to meet you and like talk to you. And
get me on the show, Joe.
Yeah, Smash Masters Wrestling. It's like a small promotion that runs in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I'm the Office fan, so I gotta go to Scranton. That's why.
You gotta come to
if I'm gonna go to somewhere in Pennsylvania, I gotta go to Scranton.
Yeah, go to Scranton. Like message Smash Masters, say hey. And they do have a backstage interviewer, but you could always say, hey, I'm gonna come to the show. It's at the Voodoo Brewery. It's like at a.
I've heard of that actually.
You heard of Voodoo?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a nice brewery. They have lots of good. They have pizza. They got wings there. They got beer. And it's a nice bar. It's like in the middle of by the college. It's gotta be good. It's by a college.
If I'm gonna go to Pennsylvania, I gotta go to Scranton. That just makes sense.
And you could find the actual building for the office. It's still there. They didn't knock it down. I think the fans would.
That's why I see people post. I see it every once in a while. People post about it on like TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that show. It's my comfort show.
So here we go. You got me into my comfort place from COVID. So what would be that your ideal episode for The Office that you could just keep watching on rotation again and again?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. How could you do this to me?
I got you.
Can I just start from the beginning and just skip the one? We just need to skip the one where Michael leaves, and then it's fine.
That episode made me cry. I was like,
right? We can just watch everything except for that one. We can just skip that one. We know what's going to happen. We don't have to deal with those emotions again.
Do you have any of the pops? Because I go to a comic book shop and I always see the random pops like of The Office, and I'm like,
it's so good. It's so good. I just want to now. I want to go restart the whole series again. Now that we're talking,
they have it on Peacock. They have it, and they have the fans version. Have you seen that? That like.
I haven't watched them all because I had a friend. I think we talked about this last time. I had a friend that passed away about 2 years ago now, and he would always try to get me to watch Grey's Anatomy, and I was like, no, No, that doesn't really seem like my thing. No. Well, of course, like a few months ago, I finally started it and everything because he was just like weighing on me. And I remember him mentioning that, and I need a new show to watch anyways. So I'm like super deep into Grey's Anatomy right now.
Yeah. And it's funny. I don't know if you saw this. They actually have a pop of the what they have. What I can't think of one of the guys that you could paint your own like pop of one of the guys from The Office. I think it was a Christmas.
They're everywhere now because it's like everybody that enjoyed it is just like getting re-popular.
What do you think about that? They're gonna reboot it and have like an Australian version of The Office.
Well, they said they were gonna reboot it, but they said like none of the original cast is gonna be on it. So I'm kind of like, I might give it a chance, but I don't but I don't know how good it's gonna be without having any of the original cast.
How can you not go back for a second and go see the Beat Farm like again?
Exactly. I don't see how you can do that. Like, because even like the original like UK version, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't even nearly as popular as like the American version.
It wasn't.
No, and it's based off the UK one. So I'm like, you can't like, I don't know. I don't see it going well, but all the luck to them.
I know a lot of people that were upset at first when they announced they were going to do an Australian version, but I was thinking maybe have like show Michael Scott Rich would like show that lady like older going, Michael, there's a call from Australia for you. And he's like, "Tango on my body." Hello, Michael Scott. Like,
yeah, it's really cool too. I don't know. Pam and Angela, they have with their own real names, but they have a podcast together. I can't remember what it's called, but it's and I've listened to it some, and I don't get the time to listen to the podcast that often, but I've listened to like 1 or 2 episodes of theirs, and it's really good.
I want to hang out with them. I want to be cool. I want to make myself proud. She'd be like, Randy's hanging out with the girls. And that I could see them, Jojo, which one's your favorite? Do you like me or Pam? And I'd be like this. COVID Joe would be say, before the red glasses, Pam's my wifey. She's so innocent.
Wifey.
So innocent. I make her go, Joe, look, I'm cool. And she finds a pair of red glasses. I could see Pam making a pair of red glasses. And like, Joe, look, am I your favorite now? And then making paper clips out of red glasses.
Jim and Pam are goals, so
yeah.
I agree with
that. Then Jim goes over her shoulder and goes, "Got no shot, Joe."
Yep, they're goals.
Even your international fame, Joe, won't save you. You'll be like, "Thanks, Jim. You just gave me the stare." I worked with a guy in my old grocery store that he looked like Jim Halpert. He had that spiky hair like Jim and everything. And me and him, during random moments where something was going on in the building and my boss was getting all hostile, and he would look over his shoulder at me like this. And I'm just like,
the stare.
Like that.
It was funny too. It's like during COVID, I started watching The Office again, like one did. And I remember my oldest, who's 9 now, but he was just like, "Oh, you're watching the boring show again." And he would just say that over and over until it started like slowly. I would see him like in the corner of the room, just like stuck watching it. And I'm like, and then slowly evolved to, "Hey, can we watch The Office?" I'm like, "Yes, we can." Oh, actually, it's not so boring now, is it?
Yeah.
So now he watches The Office with me.
It's something that like these kids, some of these kids will never understand. There's TV shows that we are hooked to. Like, I don't know if you have Paramount Plus. They have a whole uniform of old Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
That's like one thing I'm thankful for. My kids don't watch any real like new stuff. They watch all the like stuff like I would have watched. Like all are like original stuff, like original Ninja Turtles, original Power Rangers, original like Rugrats and Fairly Odd Parents, and like different cartoons and little stuff like I watch. And I'm like, thank you for, and not even because I prompt them. It's because like they found it, they liked it, and that's what they want to watch. And I'm like, I'm raising my kids right.
I don't know if you know this. They have the grown-up version of the Rugrats on Paramount Plus. Grown up, all grown up. That's what it's
I used
called.
to love Rugrats when I was a kid, so I remember when that like first came out and everything.
Yeah, I started watching All Grown Up, and I kind of like, I guess, you know,
like we're aging ourselves here, by the way.
Oh yeah,
the more we're talking about
my beard just went gray, and I could see Rain going like this. Save this shit for Monday, Joe. Because Monday's my nerd culture show. Ghostbuster Joe is just like staring at me in the distance going, bitch, what are you doing? You're stealing our conversation for Monday.
Sorry, my bad.
It's episode 97. You're already screwing it up, Joe. I'm going to be like, bitch, I'm internationally known. You're just known on this continent. Stupid idiot. Chris Jericho, I'm going to go list to Ghostbuster Joe. You made the list.
Made the list.
Ghostbuster Joe is like, I made your universe. You just swim in the pool. You'd be like, shut up. and all above it, here's a big cartoon version, and then all above the big universe is just Joe the Greeter going, man, I hate these guys. Because remember, that was I think I told you, Joe the Greeter was my original persona online.
Mm-hmm.
Or before Joe the Panther III and before Ghostbuster Joe. It was Joe the Greeter. As I'm sitting here checking someone's receipt and going, man, I hate those guys. Both are assholes. If it wasn't for either of you idiots, I would be if I Thanos Joe ass, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
Your YouTube channel wouldn't even exist. But yeah, it's crazy because I went back and I started watching Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold was good too.
I was just talking to my friend Hector. Yeah, I name dropped him. He's gonna be like, you talked about me on the show, dude. Really? I didn't show you a picture. I just said your name. Yeah. I was like, I don't know how, because they keep doing like, all grown up, and they do some other things like reboots. They could never do a reboot, like another add-in to the story of the kids, because if you think about it, Hey Arnold was based in the 50s. I don't know if you know that. How would they do that? Would Arnold be the old guy? Arnold and his friend would be the old guys, and Arnold's nephew would be.
Yeah, because if it was based off like now, they would be like in their like 80s?
Yeah, they'd be really old. Oh God, but Tacky probably would be like still in love with him. She's behind a garbage can. I still loved him when I was younger. And then the weird guy be like, the nerd guy that was always behind her.
Yeah, there's no way they could still do that unless they just based it off of like in the past, still just later than the 50s.
Yeah, unless somehow they have like late. Oh gosh, have like in the future have like it's Arnold's like nephew and this kid's late. I don't know. That would be hard.
Yeah,
like maybe like I don't know what year was Fairly Odd Parents from. I don't even know. They didn't even explain what year they were.
Yeah, I don't think they ever did really.
Maybe that was another 50s thing, because the way the Odd Parents talked, because I'm watching it again on Peacock, on Paramount Plus, and they sound like they're from like the 70s. If you hear the Odd Parents voices,
maybe. I have no idea. I haven't watched it recently enough to get a good idea.
Did you get a chance to like watch any of the game shows from the Nickelodeon era with your kids yet?
I know I did, but I couldn't tell you the names they were because I had a brother that was 9 years older than me. So a lot of times, like stuff like that, I watched what he wanted to watch. Obviously, he had control of the TV. So I remember what was the one with like the temple.
Oh, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yes,
I was like, I know it's like something temple. Like
I love that one. Oh my god!
Obviously,
you can still buy those T-shirts. You know that?
Yeah. And then what is the other one where they would take like the different Nickelodeon people and they would have like the clues and everything, and if they guessed wrong, they got slimed and all that. They had to guess different things about
Dare?
Different people.
No, not Dare. Double Dare.
Was it Double Dare? Was that the
yes,
one?
Yes, it was Double Dare.
They had to like they would have like the person and it had like a secret about the person and the people had to like guess. And they would like have like little clues like come out on like the little train in front of them, and they would say like certain words, and the words would like reveal themselves on the board behind them.
Yeah, that's Double Dare.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking that was Double Dare was something else.
Yeah, that's definitely Double Dare. Double Dare was the one that Mark Summers was the host. That was Double Dare.
I enjoyed watching that.
I loved watching Double Dare. Like he had a game show for a while.
Yeah.
On the thing, I was like, no way. Mark Summers has a Broadway. He's a Broadway. He actually has a Broadway play, and he talks about his time on Double Dare and
I did not know that.
how he didn't really like slime and nasty things.
I don't think anybody just was like, I enjoyed the slime. First of all,
you know what's weird, AnnaLnn? I was like, the whole thing that happened with the Amanda Bynes and that whole thing with all that class. Do you believe that, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, unfortunately, just you can tell that she's just not in a great place now.
I feel bad for her. Like, after all this came out, I got Paramount Plus, and the first thing they tell me to watch is freaking all that. And I'm just like,
it's sad.
Why do you ruin my life? I loved Amanda Bynes when I was in high
school. Why do you gotta ruin my life?
Why'd you ruin my life? I liked Amanda Bynes. I wanted a girl like her because I'm hyperactive. And I'm like, I wanted a girl like her that was so hyper that I would be like, I'm hyper and she's hyper. So it's like, yay, hyper and hyper.
Match that energy, yeah.
Oh, everybody would be like, marriage made in then I see the Spanish girl from all that, and I'll just like, hi. Yeah. No, you're not Spanish. You don't speak Spanish? Now you do. This is my grandma. I had a whole synopsis. I had Amanda, and then the Spanish girl walks in, and I go, sorry, Amanda.
Sorry.
Then she got her own show, so I had to watch it because it was on Nickelodeon. So, did you also? I don't know. You probably watched it all. What do you think about like the Snick? Do you think they could ever do that again?
Do what?
Remember Snick?
I don't think so.
Snick was the one that was like, "Are you afraid of the dark?"
I vaguely that's like a fever dream to me.
A lot of people remember Snick, but a lot of them, I was gonna graduate high school. I was like 18 or 19 when Snick started, and it's like that time you're like, oh, your friends are like, oh, we want to go out and go places, and I'm like, but Snick's on. And I'm like, you want to stay home.
I think that was one of those shows, like I said, my older brother watched, but I just didn't have much interest in that one.
Yeah. So,
like how we got way off wrestling, by the way.
I'm a nerd. As I said, Dudes at Ringside, it went from just talking about wrestling and staying in the careers of wrestlers. And then if I hate to bore people, it's like we want to talk about everything under the sun, wrestling, food. So here we go. As me being a local podcaster within Tri-State area, has to support your local business. After a show, if you're with your boys or you're by yourself with a friend, where would you say you would be your local spot that you stop to eat at? It doesn't matter if it's a gas station because gas stations still have food and they're banging too.
That's true. So if I'm going down South Texas, we're stopping at Buc-ee's first of all.
Did you see my post from a few days ago?
I'm not sure.
On Instagram, I'm going to show it on the screen, even though it's probably music. I'm going to have to lower my volume on my phone so I don't get a copyright strike. Where is it? Go to the Dudes page.
I'll stop at Buc-ee's though, and they have their Caesar salad there. It is my favorite, and I can't get a Caesar salad anywhere else now because it doesn't compare to Buc-ee's salad.
There you go. Buc-ee's is always loved on Dudes.
Yeah.
I had to, and they didn't even.
I have so many Buc-ee's t-shirts and sweaters and stuff.
Well, here we go. I'm going to ask you this when we're off air because I hate being like, "Oh, can you?" So, with this being, thankful for Wrestling Month. Before we go, what would you say would be you're most thankful for wrestling in wrestling?
Well, technically, without professional wrestling, I wouldn't have my children. So that's what I'm most thankful for.
Awesome. That's beautiful. If my fans would like to pick up your shirts, is there any special place is there a website you can go on?
I don't have them on a website because, like I said, this is the first time I've had them. But if you'd like to do any kind of order, you can shoot me a message on any of my social media platforms. My Instagram is all about AnnaLnn, and then I have a link tree in my bio with all my other social medias. So easy to find me, and you can send me a message on any of those platforms, and we can get you a T-shirt. I've got stickers and all kinds of other stuff, 8x10s, and I usually throw in some extras anytime you order something.
Awesome. AnnaLnn, thank you for helping me do part 1 of the season 4 finale. Again, I'm definitely gonna call you, call you. Well, I did accidentally today with finger slippage. Finger slip, as Rain would say. Joe, really? But yeah, I slipped and I pushed the wrong button. I was trying to X in and went to the phone, and I was like, ah.
It happens.
We're gonna do this again next year in February for Women's Wrestling Month.
Yeah.
Thank you again, AnnaLnn.
Thank you.
I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm AnnaLnn.
And we will catch you in the next one. See you tomorrow.